Hi, boys and girls. How are you all doing? I'm missing seeing you up front in church on Sunday mornings, and we really do hope that before too long we can all be back together in church and having our wee chats on a Sunday morning. I look forward to hearing how homeschooling has went and all your experiences of that. That'll be lots of fun. I hope you were listening to John as he read us that story from John's Gospel. In the story that John read to us, the people called Jesus a king. Now, I wonder what images come into your mind whenever you think of kings and queens. Maybe pause the video now and just talk to your mum and dad or your brothers and sisters, whoever's in the room with you, about what images come into your mind whenever you think of a king. Maybe you think of kings and queens as people who wear crowns. You see my crown? Doesn't quite fit. It's probably not right for me. Or maybe you think of kings and queens as people who live in palaces, people who sit on huge thrones. Maybe kings and queens are the kinds of people you think who would have lots of servants, and all those are right. But the thing is, the people called Jesus a king, and he didn't have any of those things. He didn't have crowns, and he didn't have palaces, and he certainly didn't have servants. In fact, Jesus was riding on a donkey, and I'm sure you know that kings don't really ride on donkeys. See, the story that John read to us reminds us that Jesus is a very different kind of king. In fact, Jesus said that he didn't come to be served, but he came to serve. And he said that he came to serve in this way, by giving his life as a ransom for many. Jesus came to serve us by giving his life, by dying to save us. This is how the Apostle Paul describes it in Philippians 2. He says, even though Jesus was God, he didn't think equality with God was something to cling to. Instead, he gave up all his divine privileges. He took on the humble position of a slave and was born as a human being. When he appeared in human form, he humbled himself in obedience to God and died a criminal's death on a cross. Therefore, God elevated him to the place of highest honour, gave him a name above all names, that at the name of Jesus every knee should bow in heaven and on earth and under the earth, and every tongue declare that Jesus Christ is Lord, that Jesus Christ is King, that Jesus Christ is ruler. And because Jesus, the servant king, came and gave his life for us, he says that if we're his followers, if we want to live under his kingship, then we too need to be servants. He wants us to be servants. Just before Jesus went to the cross, he did a very strange thing. He got a big bowl of water and a towel, and he washed his disciples' feet. Isn't that strange? Washing feet. I hate feet. Feet washing was something that only the lowest servants did, and yet Jesus stooped and did that. And after he did it, he said this to his servants, to his disciples. Listen carefully to what Jesus said to his disciples. He said, since I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash each other's feet. I've given you an example to follow. Do as I have done to you. Jesus said, since I washed your feet, you should wash each other's feet. Seriously, that's pretty gross, isn't it? I'm not going to lie. But I don't think Jesus was speaking literally here. What he was saying was, because I have served you, you should serve each other. And he wants us to live our lives serving each other. Now, I don't know how lockdown is going in your house. We can't travel very far, and so it might be hard to find people to serve, but I'm sure if we look around in our house, we can find lots of ways and lots of people who we could serve. For example, you could maybe set the table for dinner for your mum and dad, or maybe you could tidy up your plate, and maybe your brother or sister's plate, or maybe even your mum and dad's plates after dinner. You could tidy your bedroom, and maybe another room in the house as well without being asked. You could volunteer to do chores, even when it's not your turn. See, these are just some simple ways that we can be servants, that we can serve others. And we do that because Jesus served us by giving his life for us. I'm sure you can think of lots more ways that you could serve. So why not spend some time this afternoon thinking and talking with your parents about how you could serve and draw some pictures. Maybe draw the pictures of the ways that you could serve and send me those pictures. I'll put them up on Facebook for everyone to see. But now we're going to sing a song that reminds us that Jesus is the servant king.